Obrigada, Laura. Parabéns pela sua
Thank you,
apresentação.
Laura. Congratulations on your presentation. I invite Luanna, Elisa, Liebscher, Vidal for the presentation. She's going to present the poster investigation of recombinant SARS CoV-2 nucleocapsid protein thermal properties and its nucleic acid interaction.
Bom dia, meu nome é
So
Luanna.
good morning, my name is Luanna. I'm from the Laboratory of Analytics Laboratory, and this work we do in a partnership with Alatea Laboratory. The COVID-19 pandemic was caused by SARS CoV virus, and it presents the nucleocapsid and protein. It presents two conserved structural regions subdivided into N-terminal domain, NTD, which are connected by central serine and arginine here in the picture in pink. The role of N protein is not only to compose the viral particle, but also to contribute with many critical activities after cell virus invasion. And this is conditioned to the presence of DRs. The studies have suggested that CTD imitates dimerization of the N protein and also oligomers of higher forms. The work treated these with the reduction of the nucleic acids, and we observed that after the treatment, we had the reduction of the oligomers and showing the action of the acid. With the properties of the proteins and inactive folds allow several applications, and although the control of COVID-19, they emerge continually, generating new infection cases which increase rapidly. Therefore, it is necessary the investigation for identifying the proteins for the antiviral therapy. So in this study, we investigated recombinant SARS-CoV-2 with N protein thermal properties and its nucleic acid. And in this world, we produced N protein with Na. In the comparison, we used the adrenosinase and the protein NB. These proteins were purified with these methodologies and analyzed with many biophysicals and biochemicals methodologies. The first results, we show that after the treatment, it showed a reduction of the NB protein, showing that the reduction of acid nucleic is conditioned to the reduction of the oligomers. And in addition, the ultraviolet treatment showed the treatment with abezonase was effective to reduce the acid nucleic associated with the protein N. This protein was submitted to a thermokinetic methodology, and this was submitted to 25 to 85 degrees. The protein is showed in blue, and it was very similar to the protein in its native form, so showing that the protein had the capacity of reestablish its secondary nature. And you can see in figure 2 the same occurring with protein NB, and these converted to the leveling of the proteins. We can see the comparison of the both profiles, B and NB, and showing the increase of the protein and the higher temperatures, and the same with lower temperatures. And you can see also the tertiary conditions and with the analysis of the blood. And to investigate more the thermal kinetic of protein N, it was submitted to fluorometric and also scan, where the protein presented, as we can see in figure A, two conditions showed in green from 25 to 90 degrees, and we could also observe with the re-leveling we had two transitions with similar values, showing that this protein has the capacity of reestablishing its tertiary structure, and the same was observed for protein NB. The melting temperature shows that where it was obtained through the graphics in the 300 and 330 ratio, and NA and NB protein demonstrated reversibility of denaturation process after thermokinetics. And you can see that NA had less transition, and this proved the melting tube methodology shown different results, and they have the capability of reversing the denaturation process up to 6 times. And to aid the understanding of the reversibility of the denaturation process, we could see this process where we use protein N with antibody NB, and this antibody showed different, shown in dark blue, showing an influence of nucleic acid in the antibody and protein N. The NB protein was submitted to the melting process, and it had a different behavior. And when we observe the NA renatured is different than the native protein, showing that acid nucleic allows, and that suggests a nucleic acid allows for distinct refolding and hinders of binding NB. To investigate if these transitions were related to the domains of denaturation or denaturation plus oligomerase association, we carried out a methodology of name SF in different concentrations. And here we can observe in the graphic of the tables of the melting one is stable independently of the type of the proteins in NA and NB. However, when we see the temperature for melting 2, we can see the raise in the concentration of the protein and the temperature in NA and NB in figure B. And to investigate if there are any effect of this protein, it was had a thermokinetic with different concentrations to see secondary studies, and we verified there was only one transition, and for both proteins NA and NB, independently of its concentration. And this melting temperature, it goes to 40 and 50 degrees, reinforcing the results that we had previously. And a paper that was published in 2018 showed that the protein had the capacity of making this dissociation and denaturize with the profile that we can observe in SARS CoV-2. This way, we can suggest that temperature N1 is related to a process of denaturation and to the oligomers. We can conclude that the proteins NA and AB have the capacity of reverse this process secondary and tertiarily as well. And we observed 2 transitions, and this was observed for the first time in this work, showing that this that was related to this denaturation and dissociation of the oligomers, and these results confirm the leveling and the releveling of these proteins that are very common in viral proteins, and they are related to AN proteins and their capacities of having multi-functions. So we can investigate this phenomenon of dissociation of the oligomers, and it has several implications linked to a wide range potential of application of the protein. I would like to thank the laboratory Latea, Biomanguinhos, the partnership with Latea, Latin, that supplied with the proteins and antibodies, Biomaguinhos, the federal government, and Fiocruz.